Everybody, it's Jork. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. Today I wanted to talk about Lisbon, Portugal capital, why I think some of the prices are continuing to skyrocket when it comes to home valuations for property, buying, as well as rentals. So let's get into a recent article that was just published, and it talked about how 20 years ago, from 2001 to 2005, over 1,800 residential and non-residential buildings were built in Lisbon. So 1,800, that's a lot. When you're looking at 2016 to 2021, which is the newest set of data that they have, in that same period of time, only 529 new buildings, whether it be residential or non-residential, were erected. Now keep in mind in 2012 was when Portugal had financial crisis, so still digging through that for sure. But it's an interesting metric to throw out there. And as people are looking for places to live, many of the people that I consult with, they're asking, why are things so high in Lisbon? What's the big deal about Lisbon that makes it unique from Porto, other smaller cities, and frankly, other capitals within Europe? Part of the reason that Lisbon is becoming so expensive to buy or rent property compared to other European capitals, there are more new buildings being built in other European capitals as opposed to Lisbon, either smaller than Lisbon, same size as Lisbon, or bigger than Lisbon. Per capita, there's just more new growth and new developments in many other capital cities. But because there's only been so many new buildings built over let's say the last 20 years in total, many of us that are looking to move from other countries to Portugal, whether you're looking to invest and buy a property, or you just want to move here on your visa, get your 12-month rental contract or more to be able to be here, there's not a lot of new or newer property to choose from. That's the simplest answer I can give, trying to within the first minute or two of this video. It's a supply and demand issue. There is not enough new supply to take care of the demand of people, and the overwhelming majority of people that are looking to move to Portugal, I can't put a percentage on it, but of the people that I've spoken to, either as friends that have moved, fellow immigrants and expats, or people that I've worked with on a business relationship consulting, probably 90 to 95% of those people want something that's new, newly renovated, updated, and I'll say specifically if they're coming from Canada or the US, they want something as close to what they could get back home, which I don't know if that's realistic. I personally think that you have to realize you're giving up something when you're moving to any other country. There's things that are not going to be apples to apples, or it's going to be more apples to oranges. But regardless, that's what they want. So because of that, they're looking at the newest properties or the newly renovated properties. And quite frankly, there just aren't that many in the greater Lisbon area. Now, I will say, and I mentioned this in prior videos, if you're looking to take a chance and either start from scratch, completely renovating a property, or if you're looking to get a little bit, let's say, outside of Lisbon, and you want more acreage where you want a garden, or you want just more like a farmhouse, if you will, there are plenty of places that need tender loving care. There are places within Lisbon that are in trendy areas, the Chiado, Príncipe Real, old areas like Alfama, where you can buy a property that needs to be renovated if you're choosing to buy. Or if you're looking to rent, you have to be very careful about what you're getting into with the rental property. But if the rental property is not necessarily have all the bells and whistles that you want, you can find deals. The difficulty is, those bells and whistles may not have HVAC, like heating or air conditioning units, so you have to be okay with that. Or they may be on the third or fourth floor of a building with no elevator. You have to be okay with that. So some of those things are maybe deal breakers. But there's still plenty of opportunity if you're looking to put some elbow grease in, work with a contractor, and be able to renovate something. I wanted to give you, just at the time of making this video, from Idealista. If you're following my channel and watching this video, you already know what it is. It's the aggregate for a lot of the real estate sites and property within Portugal. There's over 12,000 properties for sale in Lisbon. There's about 1,600 properties to rent. And that ratio has been actually pretty similar. I've seen as much as 15 to 16,000 a few years ago when we were buying property or just bought our property. But there was more rental property, I will say, 3-4 years ago than what there is now. But that ratio, 12,000 to 1,600 for the buying to rent, seems to be about where things are. I've seen it as low as 10,000 with a little less than 1,000 to rent. So 10-to-1 ratio of what's for sale versus rent. And the reason is, so why am I giving you this information? Why am I making this video? Is that I just want people from a managing expectation standpoint, which is something that I do in my consulting calls, is just realize why things are high in Lisbon. And I know that other people have made videos about the real estate market's going to crash here and come tumbling down and things are going to be very affordable. Well, the interesting thing is, I haven't seen any evidence of that yet, where prices are starting to either stabilize or go down. And even looking at a number of properties, because we're always looking at properties within Portugal, either to purchase or potentially buy, rent, etc. The rentals continue to go up in Lisbon, in all of the areas of Lisbon, as well as the property values. Even if it's a empty lot or it used to have something there, people are asking for more money than what they were a year, 2022, 2021, 2019, 2018, when we started our search for this property as well as other properties. So if you're looking at Lisbon and you're set on Lisbon, I would think at the time of this video and moving forward, whatever budget that you have now, I would increase it if you're not going to move until 2024. What you're looking at today will probably go up in price by this time next year, whether it be a few $1,000s in sales price or maybe 50 to 100 euros a month in rent price. Until there are more older buildings being renovated, either the inside being raised, meaning gutted and rebuilt. And that's really, I think, where the market's going to come. It's not going to come from a bunch of new properties being built within Lisbon. There isn't a lot of room or enough room for many new properties, but I think it's going to be government investment or internal investment, Portuguese investment or international investment, looking to rehabilitate existing properties over, let's say, the next 3 to 5 years, where that over time will help equal the supply and demand issue that's going on in Lisbon. Now, granted, I'm not an expert in this, but I've looked at hundreds of properties. I continue to look at properties. I continue to talk to realtors, mortgage brokers, to try to get a feel for what's going on. And so that's my sense of why Lisbon property and rents are the way they are. And I just want to leave with you this notion that I don't think they're going to plateau anytime soon, because again, the world economy is not fantastic. Yes, things could continue to, let's say, decline, and that may change things. But even with that, there's just everyone moving here for the most part still fighting and willing to pay a premium for those few new or newly renovated places. And unless that changes, prices in Lisbon are going to continue to go up at a higher rate than other European capital cities, and certainly more than, I'll say, the rest of Portugal. So a couple of people that I've been working with had asked these questions in my consulting calls, so I wanted to get this. I thought it would make for a good video to give you some of the why behind what you're seeing and reading about Lisbon as a place to live. As always, thank you so much for watching the video and taking the time to follow. Hopefully you'll subscribe as I continue to make more content about Portugal and European travel. Take care and enjoy your day.